Now I want to explain how to solve a one-step equation when you have a subtraction involved in the equation, when you're subtracting. Okay, it's something that needs to be understood, and many times there is confusion in this site. Is that a negative b, or is that a positive b, or is that a subtract b? So let's just look at and start step by step from the beginning of the equation, and let's just get rid of the 35 first. Okay, change this to white. Let's get rid of the 35. How do we get rid of the 35? We simply add the opposite, which would be a negative 35 on both sides. But keep in mind, we're going to learn what we're going to do with the b in just a minute. So we have minus 35. So here we have eliminated the 35. We're going to bring down the b. We're going to bring down the subtraction sign with it. Equals. Now, how do we combine this? We have a positive 19, that's in purple, and a negative 35, that's in black. You remember the rules. You must add, subtract or add when it's a positive or a negative. When you have a positive and a negative, you will subtract, taking the sign of the larger looking number. Of course, negative 35 is smaller than 19, but it is the larger looking number. So we have to subtract it by putting the larger looking number on top and then the 19. So we can subtract now. 9 from 5 you cannot take, so you have to review group to make that 15. So 9 from 15 will give us 6. So we regrouped, and this is 1, meaning 16. Okay? So we have here, that's a negative 16. Let's go back to what I explained before. You have a negative b, a negative variable equals a negative 16, or a minus. So one thing to remember, when you have subtraction, you're subtracting something, the number behind the subtracting sign is a negative number, as long as it's not a number, as long as it's not two negatives. When you have two negatives, you have a subtraction sign and a negative sign for the b, that's going to change it to a positive b. But in this situation, you have the subtraction sign, so that's understood that this is a negative b. So you do not want to have a negative variable. Okay, so in order to create to be a positive, you divide both sides by negative 1. Okay, that's understood to be 1b. When there's no coefficient there, 1 is there. So negative 1 on both sides. So the final answer is b equals a positive 16. Okay, let me just recap that to make sure you really understand it. This is true a subtraction problem, and you are trying to find the value of b. In finding the value of b, you have to eliminate the numbers that's on the same side of the equal sign. So we're eliminating the 35 by adding its opposite, which is a negative 35. Once I've added the opposite of a negative 35 and added that to a positive 19, two different signs, you actually subtract, and you have a negative 16. So you have negative b, or negative 1b, equals negative 16. In order to complete our problem, you must have a positive unknown. So we know that negative divided by negative gives you the positive. So we must divide both sides of the equation by negative 1, thereby changing the answer from a negative 16, or completing the answer, to a positive 16, because two negatives create a positive answer.